This is Free Talk Live. Live from PorcFest 2012 here at Rogers Campground. Is one of those folks that is that behind-the-scenes kind of guy. Although you do have your own blog at homelandstupidity.us. Michael Hampton is here with us tonight. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Ian. Mark.
Always good to have you here, Michael. And you've been a friend and employee sort of the show. Contractor, I guess, is the right word. You're one of our behind-the-scenes guys when it comes to running our relatively complicated website.
Website, oh yes. It can be a pain sometimes, but the website is one of the most important ways that Free Talk Live reaches people. So
certainly, and you've been an integral component for that. But I know that's not the reason why you're sitting here to talk to us today, because one of the things that you're most known for, at least one of the projects that we know about, is the Porcupine 411 system, and it's something that has been discussed quite a bit over the years on Free Talk Live. But we always have new listeners tuning in. So what is the Porc 411?
You know, that's the thing. I've been here at PorcFest since yesterday, and the number one question I've had since then, I wrote something about it on my name badge, and that's been the number one question I've had is, what in the world is Porc 411? And this started in 2006, so it's actually been running about 6 years now.
It's great.
I think Lauren Canario originally had the idea. The idea was, what happens if you stick together a voicemail box and an email list? So at the time, I was playing around with voice over IP, and I had the capability to do this just in my house. I put the voicemail box and the email list together, and I said, here's the number, here's how you subscribe. Try it. Let's see what happens. And since then, it was slow to take off, of course, since people were trying to figure out what to do with it. But there's been lots of things done with it. One of the big things is when an activist has an issue with the police, if they get stopped, if they get arrested, or whatever, they can give
useful.
Oh, yes.
So useful for that.
You give the number a call. I had a couple of people just today tell me that they were so glad it was there for them, because it got supporters. It got people to, let me just tell you about Rich Paul real quick.
Sure.
I talked to him this morning, and he said it saved him when he got arrested. He called Porc 411, and they flooded the jail with phone calls. He had support. People knew what was going on with him.
Absolutely.
So he was able to get the word out.
Wasn't this the incident where, Ian, where you were able to come to the scene because of the call?
Well, Rich Paul's been arrested a few times, so it could have been that incident where I was there within minutes before he was even put in the police car.
And
but
he had a bag that he was able to take that he could have lost some stuff out of, right?
Yeah, that's true. And so there was absolutely a situation. But actually, excuse me, that might have been Keen 411. That might not have been Porc 411, because we got multiple communication systems. But at the recent arrest, the most recent one where he was questioned by the FBI after being arrested, it was actually Wendy, his girlfriend, who made the call to Porc 411. We didn't get to the scene until after Rich had been taken away, but we were still able to respond, still able to call the police department, still able to get Wendy and kind of accompany her back to a different location, and which she was obviously pretty shooken up. So it's so useful, and it's a tool that I think we were talking with Dave Ridley earlier from RidleyReport.com about how Ridley Reports are a window into the world. This video production he does are a window into the world of activism, but it's more of like a produced window. Porc 411, if you were to go to porcupine411.com and go to the New Hampshire section there, or go to nh.porcupine411.com, you could subscribe to this even if you aren't here in New Hampshire yet, and you can receive these emails with the audio in them, and that's kind of like an unfiltered window into the world of activism. I mean, you'll get everything from traffic reports to emergency police aggression situations.
I don't restrict the kind of activism you can do over the line, as long as it is something. So we get everything from we're having this testimony at the State House to I just got pulled over, I got a flat tire, just anything.
Yeah, if I get so we have Social Sundays happening in Keene, and so if we show up at the location for Social Sundays and it's closed for some arbitrary reason, phone call goes out to Porc 411. Hey, everybody, heads up, this is the new location. And then within seconds of you hanging up the phone, your system will pass the message on. So, I mean, literally, it doesn't take very long at all.
Yeah, that goes out to email instantly. We've got roughly about 400 people on email and mobile phones. It also goes out to Twitter and Facebook. So if you like the page on Facebook or you follow on Twitter, you will get those.
What is it that, how many subscribers are there? This is one of the questions I've had for a long time. I've always just presumed it's a couple hundred people, but I have no idea.
It's hard to tell because there will be duplicates between Twitter, Facebook, and the phones and the email.
Right.
But
just straight up email subscribers.
Straight up email, I think it's about 400.
Wow. Okay. More than I thought.
Haven't looked really lately, but we've got a lot of likes on Facebook. I think a lot of people are following that way. So total amount of subscribers is probably well over 500. It may be even pushing with 1,000.
It's incredible. Now, one of the other things you've done with Porcupine 411 is you've made the system, kind of plug and play for people.
Yes.
If there was another guy, I think he was in the audience this morning, the activism panel. We were talking about Porc 411 as well as some of the other activism networks, if you will, that we have here. And this guy mentioned that they've got one in Michigan or something like that.
Yes, they do have one. Are they here? Because I haven't met them.
Yes, he's got his hand up there. Phil, he was on the show the other day. So now, is this something you set up?
Yes, I set the Porc 411 up for the Michigan guys, and I also set it up for John Bush down in Austin.
That's awesome.
And our newest Porc 411 that we've set up is down in Phoenix with Ernest Hancock and those guys.
Fantastic. So folks can go to porcupine411.com to learn more about this setup. What else is going on that you wanted to mention about this?
About Porc 411, that's the main thing is I wanted to people to know what it is, because that's the question I'm getting. The latest news is I am hard at work on an Android app for Porc 411.
Really?
And I
just have a shortcut right now that just quickly dials the number. What would the app do?
The app, what it would do is you hit a widget or a button on your phone, and it will instantly send out your location and start recording audio, or if you have the bandwidth, start recording video. One touch.
Wow, that sounds really spectacular. Looking forward to evaluating that.
What I want to do is do the live video stream, or if you don't have the bandwidth, then we can do live audio and upload the video later.
Let's get the keen activists in on the beta on that one. That'll be fun.
You will be hearing about that.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Michael Hampton from Porcupine411.com. And by the way, what does this cost for somebody that wants to set one up?
For an activist network, it is $15 a month.
Nice. It's so affordable, so useful. More coming up. Free Talk Live.